Hi there, welcome to Algorand Wyckoff technical analysis session. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key takeaways you can expect from the session. So let's start with the weekly chart of Algorand. Here, let's focus on the orange tags first. These are the Wyckoff accumulation tags, and we have just gone through another testing stage. The positive thing is that we haven't seen a spring, which may happen sometimes, that the price went below the selling climax. This time, this test was a bit deep, and the lowest point may be just somewhere near the selling climax back in April was. So it was in like last time back in October 2024, about a year ago, that it closed below the selling climax back in July 2024. So the interesting thing is, or the signs of a rebound, is that this downward channel that started in mid-July this year is over. It's the very first time in 4 months that the price is trading outside of this channel box or this air hockey table. So it was bouncing within the table, and this week it eventually broke out. So we'll get to the daily chart and see in detail when and what exactly happened. As of now, these percentages have changed. The tendency or the chance of getting towards the spring, I'll lower it to 20%. The green scenario may not be the case, which I was explaining last session, that would that be a disappointing distribution that we had on July 14th. Okay, what started buying climax, because Algorand exhibited or showed such a distribution back in 2023 end of it and early 2024. So that's why I said no way, let's not repeat what happened over there. Okay, so however, I have to explain to you that that can be a possibility and that can be a disappointing distribution. Let's hope it is not that case, and by breaking outside of this downtrend, I hope it's going to exhibit a new actual distribution cycle that at least challenge the purple key level of 40 cents. Okay, it's time now to get to the daily chart. So what's interesting I mentioned earlier, or what in detail, what happened was that we had a spring. The question mark over there was that we were discussing whether that's the lowest point of the spring, and looks like it is based on what happened last Friday, based on those buying on November 4th and November 5th, the Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So look at those 2 candlesticks and the relative volume over there. Even though this is a red bar on November 4th, it was actually from the buying when the price hit the center line of the downtrend. Okay? And the subsequent day it happened. Same. Buying from that low point, pushing the price back to around 15 cents 30 for both days. And then the third day, it basically dropped to that level and not lower than that. And then we've got this huge climb over there. So the volume has been pretty consistent, and it's higher than the average of the previous 2 weeks. Okay? That's one sign. The other sign over here, that the price broke outside of this box, this air hockey table, I call it. Okay? This downtrend. At this point, just yesterday, November the 10th, the first attempt happened. Today is kind of dropping back to within the box. However, currently it's still staying above this upward trend line. So this trend line started actually way earlier from this point, back in November 2024, 1 year ago. Okay, and then we have gone through the spring back in April this year, and then the selling climax back in June. Now we are back to that support trend line. So hopefully it's gonna stay above this line, and if that happens, that means it will not re-enter the downward channel, because subsequently for next day and the day after, if it continues to trade above this trend line, you know, physically or like graphically, it cannot happen because this is where the downtrend is. Alright, so the breakout happened, you know, way before November 29th, end of November, as we discussed, because I have been sharing with you that there are these triangles that's indicating to us from the point that we are talking to that particular date, any day within this period, there is a breakout opportunity. Okay, just that this shakeout, the last shakeout, I hope that is, you know, was trying to get or scare people away so the big guys can scoop in all the stocks they want. So let's hope this is really the spring, same level as what happened in April, and now is the time to see the rocket launch. Alright, there are a couple of other altcoins like this, but be really careful. If the whales can shake one time, they can shake multiple times. Okay? Really, have your stop loss sitting there with you. Even the climb is very quick and fierce. The first stop, we hope to see if it is really breaking outside of this and going for a rebound. Pass through the yellow key level of 20 cents, then 24 cents, and at least test the 29 cents. That's what we hope to see, because that's where the sign of strength back in mid-July was. In mid-July, it tested, or it went all the way through the blue key level, the dark blue key level of 32 cents, before it got the selling from that point back to the 29 cents. So that's why I was saying, if this is really the end or near the end of the accumulation cycle, let's show us the sign of strength first. If it shoots up even further straight into accumulation, like what has happened to Uniswap, that's, you know, the time to celebrate. All right, okay, so step by step, have your stop loss ready with you. Don't get overexcited. People say there's no altcoin season. People say they're still waiting for altcoin season. Maybe this is the season for individual altcoins, and the big guys are pumping them here and there. Not everybody is pumping. Some go up and then came down, and the next goes up. All right, so we know this is a game for a lot of people, and we're not the ones controlling the game. Good luck and enjoy trading. See you in the next session.